Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right. Well, thank you for clicking on the reading. It is always such a huge honor for me to be able to share my energy with you and you to share your energy with me. And here we are. So today is September 30th, 2025. This reading will be coming out on October 1st, 2025. So I just want to start saying the date a little bit here and there. Really, so you know when this was recorded. Now, these readings are timeless, as they like to call them. When you watch it, it is activated. I really believe very much in this kind of almost, like a quantum, quantum ideas of when you look at something, when you gaze upon it, it changes, it influences that energy. And so, when you view this reading, it becomes yours. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to turn this thing. And so if you would be so kind, if you would be the sweetest person I've ever met. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have a prayer request, I would be so very, very happy to pray for you, pray over you, send you energy. If you want to put that in the comment section, or you can email it to me over at ulaishere@gmail.com. And here we go. Let's get started. So we are dealing with a father energy. We have the seahorse over here, and we know that the seahorse is one of the only animals where the male carries the infants. And here comes the cat. I'm going to have to pause this real quick. Okay. Thank you for being patient with the cuts. Yeah, the cat was sleeping. I knew he was going to wake up, so I was anticipating having to stop and get him out of here. I love my cats to be around, but they will walk right through the thing. So anyways, we have that seahorse energy, which is the father energy. The male seahorses, they carry the babies, right? They birth them. This is unique in the animal world. And so this is always the energy when I see it. So there's the father energy. Now we also have a goose right here who is in flight. Okay. So we do have the migration going on. And so there is a sense of maybe being pulled into a new direction. I feel like your heart is really open, and I feel like there's just maybe a sense of not being so tied to what you used to be, right? Like maybe you were married, maybe, you were going to college, you were raising your kids, and it had you in a place where you didn't really think about moving or leaving or running away to Europe and living in, Paris or whatever, But now something has shifted over these years, and you are in a place where I feel like you feel less like tied to the roots are there, right? It's not like you are this completely ungrounded person. You are grounded, but you are also ready to just see where the wind blows you off into, the distance. Where is it going to take you? I don't know that you have a particular place that you want to go, but I do feel there's a sense of wanting some significant change. Now, we also have the number 363, okay? 363. 363. We also have the number 77. Okay. So we have two people here, and it looks like they are maybe dancing or holding hands and meeting at the face. These are the heads. This is the body. This one looks like it has maybe a dress on. Now there are other people in the back here kind of watching. So we also have it looks like a child holding what would be like, I don't know, maybe like a stick or, playing like a military game kind of thing. And I feel that there's this impression of going off to war, maybe, to some conflict at a young age, maybe like too young, right? Like 18 or however old, 17, however old you have to be taken, into the military. And a sense of having really fallen in love, this kind of almost trope like, World War II or, the 19th century or 1900s. Sorry, I always mix those two up. 20th century. This like falling in love, and then he goes off to war and you write the letters, and then he comes back and you have the family, and there's, kissing and flags flying, and I'm thinking of this like kind of Americana kind of propaganda. And I feel like this is not so much a story as like, I mean, it is idealized to some degree, but it feels like there's a lot of happiness, a lot of kids and being connected. But there's also that darkness of trauma. And that's the thing. And I don't know if this is your father who went away to war when he was young, or if this is like a grandfather and it's your father's father and he grew up in that household around that energy, and maybe that, affected this father figure. It feels like there were a lot of storms, right? Like, I feel like you went to bed, not every night, but more often than you would have liked, worried about the stability of the household and the family. And I feel that there, maybe at times there were a lot of raised voices and tears. And I feel this distinct need to make sure everybody is okay all the time. You are often a caregiver. You are often the person that goes so far out of your way for other people, and your energy is not met all the time. In fact, more often than not, it is not met barely at all. I also think that at times your caring, your giving, your kindness have been mistaken for weakness and vulnerability and being easily taken advantage of. But that is not the case. Not at all. So I feel, for whatever reason, there seems to be a situation in your life beginning to really take hold where you are becoming quite introspective. I think that maybe, and this reminds me of like when you get diagnosed with something, like, like when I got diagnosed, at 30, I think I was like 30, when I was diagnosed with ADHD. And of course, it didn't change anything about my life, but it gave me a lot of answers about things that didn't always make sense. And even things that felt really shameful, right? Like, my, well, a lot of things, like my impatience, my inability to regulate my emotions at times, or, memory, like having a really bad short-term memory, all kinds of things, really. But it doesn't change the thing, but it gives you options. It gives you tools. It gives you a framework, right? So I feel like for you, it's not so much that you're trying to get to like this place where it's like this pinpoint right here. This is the answer, and this is what I've been looking for forever. And here we are, and now I understand it all, and I can fix it and, heal from it. And no, that's not what this is. It doesn't feel like that. And I don't know that that's real at all anyways, right? I don't know that there's any way to just fix something, especially if it's something created in our childhood, if it's trauma, if it's, our coping mechanisms, our conditioning. So I feel like whatever's going on, there is this pull towards looking at your histories, the self-archaeology. Now this is a weird... Okay, so we have camping, we have a tent, but down here we have this thing, it's like a net or something that goes over food. And I'm getting like visuals of these kind of big picnics or parties with the family, maybe, or family friends. A lot of laughing, a lot of, I imagine there was a sense of closeness with the children, and the adults seemed to be very close as well. And there seems to be a safety and a freedom in this place. I feel like you must have a pretty large extended family. Although, as I'm looking at this, I feel like a lot of these people have transitioned. And I think you must be coming up to a time of the year, and maybe we're marching towards the holidays here, where you are acutely aware of how many people have gone on before you. And I think that's the big thing here. Now, with all of this said, and I don't know if we even talked about this, this is the Two of Discs, or the Two of Pentacles, Panacles, coins, whatever you want to call it. It is all about change. It's also about balancing the as above, so below, the macro and, it's off the thing, the macro and the micro, okay? The heavenly and the material world, if you will. And so the energy flows down and it flows up, and it flows down and it flows up. So we also have Ouroboros, which is the snake eating its own tail in totality. We also have the figure 8, or infinity. And so, this time in your life where you are very drawn to these old things, these old places, it seems to me like you are really in a processing. You are getting ready to begin again in some way. And I feel like this is just something that maybe you've been pushing away for a while. I don't know what it is exactly, but it feels like it's hard to look back. And maybe it is because a lot of your family has passed on. And, you know, like a lot of families, they are getting smaller. People are having fewer children, if at all. And the generations are getting, you know, smaller. And maybe your family isn't as close. Maybe people don't go out of their way to go see each other anymore. So I do feel that there is a melancholy around this. Now look at this face here. Right there, you can see the eye, the nose, the mouth. Now we also have, it looks almost like the name, maybe Mia, M-I-A, or Maya. And we have that camping. The camping. Let's see. Let's take a look over here and see if it will talk to us about what the camping. Maybe you just are a person that likes to camp. Maybe that's something you did with your family. So we have a person in the bed sleeping. We also have a person up here rising up, almost kind of astral. We have a bird meeting them. So I do feel like your dreams have been fairly intense. You've been interacting with intelligences, and I feel like you've been getting information from them, most definitely. I think it's important for you to write down what they're showing you, if it's numbers, if it's, you know, maps or pictures or, you know, alien alphabets or whatever it is. Write it down as much as you can retain, right? We have 2 mountain peaks coming up, so 2 ordeals. Now, I don't feel like this is something that is dire, but it has to do with the household. So something coming up with the household. That face again right there. Eyes, nose, mouth. And the cat. So I just keep getting this feeling of something that you have been saying is going to happen, happens. I feel like it's like something like with the, you know, you're telling your spouse, you're telling your roommate, hey, we got to get this fixed. Can you help me with this? Or can you do this? Or, you know, whatever. And they keep putting it off. And you keep saying like, hey, we actually do have to do this, or it's going to be a problem. And here we are, because it didn't get fixed. So I almost wonder, I mean, because of the time of year where we are going into a time where we're going to be needing heating pretty soon in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere, probably air conditioning. So I'm wondering if it is maybe something to do with either the AC or a heater. Maybe it's the hot water heater. I don't think it's like a catastrophic thing. I think it's just something that needs to get like fixed, you know, and then kept maintenanced. I know. Sometimes these readings, it's like, why are you getting information about like household appliances? Listen, you know, a lot of what spirit communicates to us is mundane stuff. Right? Because that's where we spend most of our time. All right. What should we do? Lucky numbers. Let's do some lucky numbers. All right, so we have 54 or 9. 56 or 11. We have 56 or 11 again. We'll do another one. Oh, 33 or 6. All right. Well, Sagittarius, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for putting up with the not in the studio, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's weird energy lately. We've had illness in the house, but there's just something. There are major solar flares, solar activity happening right now, and I tend to think that's probably what's going on because I feel heavily affected by it. But also just supreme anxiety the last few days and being irritable to some degree. And I think that's from being sick, but it just feels like, I don't know, I'm having trouble getting in deeper. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just, maybe it's like coming off of a couple of weeks ago when, there's always awful things happening in the news, but there was that particular week of stuff that, and I don't know, maybe it's been a month. I can't remember how long ago it all was, but I feel like it's like the in the shadow of it, like just kind of this feeling of heartbreak, being worn out, cruddy, just not able to get like the wheels to get traction and get going. So I don't know. I'm just gonna get some rest and keep working out and doing what I'm doing, hoping, praying things kind of settle out here pretty soon. Also, it's super hot where we are. For this time of year, it's super hot, and that's really, it's off-putting because the season is changing, but it's like 85 degrees. So, I just don't know. I just don't know what to say about it all. Anyways, I love you, Sagittarius. You are wonderful. Thank you. We'll talk soon. Goodbye. Good night.